Welcome to what's probably the messiest workshop in the world at the moment. Very overdue, a bit of a clean up in here. Right, so I've been learning to play the guitar, trying to learn again, like several times in my life when I've picked one up. And one of the most useful exercises that I found while messing about on YouTube was the one for having a metronome going and playing a chord on every fourth beat. And I actually found that so useful, I decided to write a little app for it for myself. It got out of hand and I've created something that actually I quite like. So that's what this video was about, just a very quick one, just to run through what I've done. I'm not making it public, I'm going to say that at the start. While it works, while the functionality is there and everything, I did try testing it on Samsung's test phones, where I got the layout set up quite nicely, and then I went to test it on my partner's phone, and yeah, it just the layout just wouldn't work. So unless I find a way to get that layout sorted, it's very much just staying as a bit of a private project. Definitely not going to be on Apple, because obviously to develop an Apple app you have to have a Mac, and yeah, I'm not spending money on a Mac just to produce an app that people with Androids can use, or not, as the case may be, that I can use. Yeah, hope that made sense. Here it is. So this is a very quick fly through of the Chord Tamer app. As you can see at the top here, I called it Chord Trainer originally, then realised obviously there was already one called Chord Trainer, of course there was, and changed the name. So first thing we've got at the top, animated beats. A metronome sound plays for each beat. The sound on the red beat is different to the other three, just to give you something visual and audio to link to when you should be playing the chord. Dark mode does what it says. The chord that I've just played and the chord that's coming up, beats per minute. I think I go into a bit more detail in the where I show you the actual app itself, about being able to adjust that. It adjusts in 5 beats per minute steps. Now the frequency in new chords, again I go into more detail on that, but I will come back to it. Start and stop buttons, 5 and 10 minute timers. And this is the chord library, which is kind of the core of it, where the grey chords aren't active, they're not doing anything, they're just available. Blue ones are active, they can be chosen as a random chord to be played. And purple. Now purple are the chords that you're not quite confident with yet. And you can choose with that frequency slider how often the purple chords appear, whether they just appear every now and then, or if you really want to push yourself a bit into learning them, you can have them appearing more frequently. So as I say, that was version 1. It's a bit messy. I just threw bits in as I thought of them. So this is version 2. Most of it's the same. You can see that now you've got a blank chord at the start, just to give you those 4 beats to get ready. And those 4 beats will be at whatever rate that the beats per minute is at. And I cleaned up the bottom bit a bit. You can have up to 12 chords in there, and obviously I've got the 3 controls. And this is where you're able to add chords. So you put in the name of the chord. I think I demonstrate that it doesn't let you do anything if you don't in the video. You tap to place the dots on whichever strings you want for the finger points, and you can tap at the top to mute strings and play open strings, and then save. And obviously that saves in the bottom library. Now then, setup. So as I say in another video again, this is for when you want to play a particular song or learn a particular song. You literally just tap the blue chords so they appear at the top. Something I don't mention in the other video and that I don't show here is that you can actually tap the same chord in there twice in a row, 3 times in a row, whatever. if that's how it appears in the actual song. So you just tap a chord to add it to the sequence. It appears at the top. The insert button, again, I mentioned this in the video, but you can just insert a chord prior to another one, and you can delete a chord, nice and easy. You then also save the sequence. When you save the sequence, the indicator appears on the main screen. A bold yellow sequence, like it shows there, means that the actual sequence is active. A pale yellow, like the set at the bottom there, that just means that it's playing the random chords as normal, and you can tap that on and off. And there's dark mode, just to show you what it looks like. And there it is, the Chord Tamer. As you can see, it opens nice and quick. It's just a tiny little app. I've tried to keep it as straight and streamlined as possible because that's how I like it. And at the end of the day, I did just build this app for myself. I'll work down from top to bottom just to run through it. Dark mode, exactly what it says on the tin. This is where your chords appear that you want to play. Beats per minute, you can amend either by tapping up or down. It goes up by 5s at a time, or you can just use the slider. There we go. That's a nice 140. New chords, I'll come back to that in a moment. Start, obviously starts it. The stop becomes live once you've started it. 5-minute timer, so you can have a time going down. 10-minute timer, just the same. This is your chord library. Blue means that it's an active chord and it'll appear as normal. Grey is inactive, it won't appear. Purple. Now, the way I worked it out was some chords, when you're confident with them, you put them in blue. If you just learn a new chord, you don't always want that just to appear. You might want it to appear more frequently. Once you get better, you might want it to appear less frequently at first. So putting it purple alters the amount of, well, the frequency that the chord will appear, which you can alter. So just learn the chord, pop the new chords down, it'll appear every now and then. Get more confident, pop it up, it'll appear more often, and then eventually you'll just add it to blue. Obviously the 8 chords that I've given you here are not going to be all the chords you want, so you can add a chord. You can mute a string, and then you just pop your chord in. Go to save it. Oh no, it's not saving. Why is it not saving? Because it hasn't got a name. I'm going to call it Fred. One of the most popular password words of the 80s, because it's just so, the combination, it's just so easy. Save that, and there he is. There's Fred. Fred is now going to appear not so often. Actually, I don't like Fred. Yeah, let's kill Fred. Fred's gone. Am I allowed to say that these days? Let's remove Fred. There he goes. He's gone. Now, delete, obviously, you notice all red. It toggles the delete on and off, so you can delete them. Now, one of the good bit. This is the section that I brought in version 2. Set sequence. So say you're learning a new song. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to shake you there. Say you're learning a new song. It would be pointless learning all the chords in the library, wouldn't it? You're going to have chords coming up that aren't in the song that you're wanting to learn quickly. So here you can add the chords in the sequence that they appear in the song. So let's say that it was G, E, D, C, and that was it. No, it's not E, is it? Ah, that's silly. Let's delete that E. It was actually E minor. So let's insert just before that. There we go. And we now have the correct sequence that we wanted. Save the sequence, and you've got a nice little yellow indicator here. Let's set it going. You can see that it keeps it empty at the start. C, back to G, E minor. Like the slide, the way the chord just slides across. Yeah. Right, you've done 10 minutes of that, you're bored with that. Let's go back to random chords. And there you go. You're back at random. Ready? There we go. You've got your random chords appearing again. Oh, yeah, I'm bored with that. Let's go back to learning the song again. There we go. Now, you'll notice on both of them, I've got a blank chord set up to give you time to get set up after pressing start. There you go. Now, that pause is actually relevant to your beats per minute. So say your beats per minute were down, right down at 70. 3, 4. So whatever speed you're learning at, it adapts to it. And that, I think, is absolutely everything. Hope you like it.